So we met at small groups through Epic. Um, she was running the small group. My roommate JC invited me over after several attempts.
That's when we connected, I guess.
Yeah.
I think one thing that brought us together was definitely faith. And then when JC brought him over, everybody was kind of excited because we were like, oh, who's this new member? My first impression of Matthew was that he was super shy. I don't know if he liked us. Like, he walked in with JC and we're like, who's this tall white guy?
Yeah, I was a little nervous, and I mean, it was a different environment for me.
My favorite attribute of Matthew is that he's family oriented. You know, I come from a large, crazy, Hispanic, loud family, so I was like, oh, how's this guy? Come in, all quiet. And that's what attracted me towards him, that he called his family, his parents a lot, you know, whenever he can. And, you know, regardless of the distance, he always made time for his family.
I would say how supportive she is. I mean, with my crazy work schedule and with converting to the Catholic faith and just our relationship and just this journey over the last 2 years, it hasn't been easy, but it's been wonderful. She's always been supportive and strong, and I couldn't be more thankful to be with her.
My favorite date has been outside of going to Mass, you know, which was ultimately our first date. It was going to hear the orchestra. That was something that I never did with anyone before, and it was just a nice experience.
I was also going to say Mass, especially our first day to the Basilica, was really an amazing experience. And I mean, we still go to Mass every Sunday together as long as I'm not underway. And I think that's always been a huge part of our relationship. I think other than Mass, though, would probably be the day trip we took to Maui and just running around the island. Got to visit some friends over there. It was a short trip, but it was a good day. The proposal, we wanted to make sure we waited till after we had been dating a while, so we had been dating a little over a year. I went home, and my mom's sister helped pick out the ring. And I came back, asked her parents. Fortunately, she had an event with some friends, so she was out of the house, which was perfect because I didn't know how I was going to be able to show up and ask her parents without her being suspicious. I planned some different ideas, which she caught on to. She wasn't sure of the date because I used an older calendar date for St. Raphael that I was hoping was going to throw her off. It was a true blessing just because I know I was nervous and just how everything fell together perfectly.
At first, I was kind of like, oh, he went home. And I was kind of suspicious because he went home really nervous. And I was like, why is he nervous? Like, he turns all red. So when he came back, he was a little more nervous. And I was like, so then that night, I mean, I didn't suspect that night of when we went axe throwing. But when I got closer to October and when our saint's feast day, St. Raphael, which the novena that I prayed and we met on the 6th day of that, I knew it meant something, like the day specifically, so I knew he was going to try to plan around it or on it. So when the morning of that day, my sister texts me, oh, make sure you dress nicely. So I was like, okay. It felt different. And then that day, I saw a bunch of rainbows throughout the day. And I was like, oh man, like this is God's blessing all over it, no doubt. And when we pulled in the parking garage, I knew it was the moment. And It was really exciting. I did not react the way I thought I would. I was really happy, and instead of like ugly crying, I was just laughing and very giggly, and it was it was an amazing day.
I would say the most special thing is just the love and support, our faith, our relationship, our planning our future. I mean, I couldn't be happier, and I'm excited for the future.
The most special thing about our relationship is that how we even came together, I would say. Like, God wrote our love story from the beginning. We both have pasts that God used for our good, and after many, many, many prayers and obedience, and to a point where we were just discerning our vocation, especially for me, it was struggle, but it was beauty in the struggle. And how a guy from Indiana came all the way across to an island in Hawaii. As long as we keep God in the middle, everything will work out.
I agree.
Matt, thank you for being so patient and understanding with all the million things you have going on, whether it's ministry, hanging out with friends, family, crazy schedules. You have been nothing but supportive and understanding, and you always push us to rely more and more on our faith. You push us going to attend weekly gatherings through Epic or through other ministries, that the importance of community. And I really, really appreciate that, because sometimes we get caught up in the world's busyness, but you always ground us back to what's really true and good. And I appreciate your attitude towards that, even though you always joke around how I'm a crazy Latina sometimes, which I'm not saying no to, but I really appreciate your willingness to just go with the flow and correct me when I'm wrong, and to support us when we're right. And whatever this world brings, I know we can do it together.
Johana, I love you. These last 2 years have been amazing. I couldn't be more blessed to be with you. I'm excited for our future and what God has in store for us. I know you talked earlier about how amazing it is that He brought us together, from a small town in Indiana all the way here to Hawaii, for us to be together. You have been amazing in this relationship. You've been so strong and supportive, especially with my crazy schedule. And I'm excited for our wedding in a week, for our future together, to enter this sacrament with you, to just see what God has in store for our life, for our future family, for our travels. I love you. I love all that you do for us, for our relationship, and I couldn't be more blessed. Te amo mi corazón, and as always, in our prayers, Mother Mary, St. Francis de Sales, and St. Raphael, pray for us.